Hey guys, so I thought I'd do another tutorial for you all. So as you can see, I don't really have any face makeup on. I have on brows and liner, lashes, a little shadow, just because that way it would look a little decent for y'all. So I'm going to do an updated Glam foundation tutorial, and I've done a couple of variations over the years, but I think Glam is always fun. I definitely have different routines. Like, I have a more natural routine, so if you want to see that, I have like this powder foundation routine, which I wore a lot during the summer, and I wear it on my days where I'm quick, where I use a pressed mineral powder from CoverFX. So I will link that summer foundation tutorial for you all, but today I'm going to do a glam look, so I'm going to use more cream foundation, and I love cream foundation in my kit. My professional kit, because it's super versatile. I love it myself because I feel like it can really be built up, and the coverage on cream is unlike any other. It's much more covering than liquid or powder, and I really like it for like a night out, or if you just like a glam look. So as you guys know, I'm a CoverFX ambassador. I've been tweeting, Instagram, posting YouTube videos and blog posts since January, and I pretty much exclusively have been using that foundation, not just because I'm an ambassador, but because it's got such a wide range and the colors are really good. So they have everything from powders, liquids, BB creams, BB gels, to cream foundation. So I have everything I need to do any kind of makeup foundation look that I want. So today we're going to do glam. So I'm going to show you and break it down on how I do a full glam foundation tutorial. So I'm also testing out a new ring light. So I have a big ring light, and then I got a new one which attaches to the lens. So let me know how you like that, and let's just get started. Okay, so the first thing I do in a glam foundation routine is make sure to prime my skin. You're going to wear a little bit more makeup than usual, but it's not going to look kicky. It's still going to look good. But you just need something to kind of protect your skin and make everything go on smooth. And primers are always, like, to me, like a must-have, especially if you have oily skin, you have texture issues, you just want your makeup to last. So I'm going to use the new CoverFX Calming Primer. I talked about this on my blog. I did a big giveaway on it. I just kind of like it because it's very soothing on the skin, and it's starting to get colder now, and I want to protect my skin from the harsh weather. I also have this like new curling iron burn on my forehead that needs a little bit of calming. So to me, this is just a really nice soothing primer. It's got cooling effects to it, and it kind of just makes my skin feel really nice. It's almost like a serum. You can use any primer that you have that works for your skin type. Okay, so the first thing I do in my foundation routine, and this is just personal, some people do concealer first, then foundation. Some people do foundation, then concealer. It's all completely up to you. This is my routine. Feel free to modify as you'd like. So I like to correct my under eye circles first. I find that if I don't, I can definitely tell. Like, I feel like there's still some shadows going on. So this is my Holy Grail corrector. This is Ben 9 Neutralizer Cream Crayon and Medium / Tattoo Cover. I sell this on my Alcone at Home webpage. So if you're looking for it, because it's not like super easy to find, that's where it is. So I just like to draw it on, and it's really convenient because you just draw and then you just tap it in with your ring finger, which is the most gentle finger. I just place it really in the darkest pocket. Okay, so the next thing I like to do is, if you want, you could touch up some spots. I'm very fortunate because I went through all childhood, all of my preteens of acne craziness, so I don't really have any major spots to touch up. So the CoverFX cream foundation, to me, will cover everything without having a spot concealed. But the good thing about the CoverFX Total Cover Cream Foundation is that it's really pigmented, so you could use it and spot cover and conceal. I know Candy Johnson, who everybody loves on YouTube, has been using this for years on her channel as a concealer, but I'm actually going to use it as a cream foundation. So what I've been loving lately is taking a kabuki brush or any kind of full brush right here. This is like the CoverFX powder brush, or you can use, you know, whatever kind of brush you want. You can use a regular foundation brush. You can use, this is the CoverFX liquid foundation brush, but anything flat top will give you super coverage. So since I don't want a ton of coverage, I am going to use a kabuki, which seems like it's for more coverage, but here's what I like to do. So I'll take my kabuki, and this one's from Sedona Lace, and I'll just get a little bit on the brush, and I'll just start to buff it into my skin. And this is going to give me an airbrushed effect. Really even coverage that I can build up. And none of it is like sticking to just one spot where it'll get cakey. And it's really quick because the brush is big. So I'm wearing shade G70, which is golden. And I got a little bit more tan this weekend because I had a nonprofit car wash. So my car wash, I had a car wash with my nonprofit organization where we teach high school students after school to, you know, do great things after high school, like college and careers. So we had a car wash, good old high school car wash, and I got a little tan. So G70 is my tan shade, and G60 is my, like, probably my winter shade. So I just like buff it in all over, and as you can see I get really nice even coverage. And I just kind of just go over it in layers because that way you don't put too much on, and as you can see my skin's already starting to look really nice. I personally like more of a medium coverage because I don't want to cover everything. I want my skin to still look kind of natural, but as you can see it's definitely covering. If you want full coverage, all you have to do is place a little bit more on. But I'm really, when I hit it, I just touch it. Like I don't even like swirl it and get a lot on here. So let's just kind of keep buffing it in. And you want to match your body, so my body's a little bit more tan sometimes than my face. Right now they're pretty equal because I was in the sun. But just another little quick tip. Okay, so I love to use the CoverFX Cream Concealer. This stuff is so good. It's very, very pigmented, so if you like full coverage, it's really nice. But it's still in a little liquid tube form, so it's really easy to use and it's not too cakey. But if you want to build it, it goes total full coverage. And I love that it's in a little squeezy tube because I literally just draw on my face. And also, if I use this in my kit, it's super sanitary. So I use this shade G Light, G again for golden. They have also a whole bunch of other different shade choices, like for neutral, cool tones. Like there are so many shades at CoverFX that you can definitely find yours. I think there's like dozens and dozens of shades. So I like using light because to me it serves as a highlight, and then I kind of bring the lightness back to my face where it was like kind of tanned out with this darker foundation. So here's what I do. I kind of sketch a little roadmap. So I squeeze the little tube and I literally draw where I want to conceal / highlight. So I do a little triangle. I get that under my eyes, so it's going to be like that Kim K highlight. I do a little bit on my forehead, and then I bring a little thin line down the center of my nose, and only a little bit because it's super pigmented. And then my chin, and sometimes I'll go like and do this little area right here. Okay. So now to blend that in, I'm going to use a smaller brush. I'm actually going to use a liquid foundation brush from CoverFX. And I always like to wet my brushes because I find that it kind of makes everything buff out smoother and it's not dragging on your face. So you could use your fingers for this, or you could use the beauty blender. I'm just kind of tapping the product in first so that way I don't lose any coverage. And then we'll blend it all out. I like to drag the highlight up into the temples to kind of sculpt my face out. And then here I'm just kind of like chiseling that little cheek right there, and then blend the rest of it in. So with my nose, I like to use my ring finger because I want to keep the highlight kind of a thinner line. So I'm just going to blend it in with my finger. And I'm going to bring it up and all the way down. Now I'm just blending out the edges. What I'll do is sometimes I'll take my kabuki again and just kind of like buff out the transitions, like where the foundation meets the highlight, so that way it's nice and smooth. Okay, so we're going into contour next, and like I said, this is Glam, so I like to contour with creams and then powders. It just kind of, the layering, this all kind of makes everything look more natural than just slapping on just a powder. It just kind of looks more like a contour within, and then you set it with powder to make it last. So I'm going to use again the Total Cover Cream Foundation. Did I mention this has SPF 30 in it? It sure does. So this is actually a much darker shade. This is N100. So I was G70 on my all over color, and the reason why it's darker is because I want a nice contour color, and going for a deeper foundation shade is just the same as buying like a specific contour product. It works just the same. So what I'm going to do now is map out where I want the contour. So I'm going to take my CoverFX concealer brush, and then I am going to contour. The good thing about contouring with creams versus powders is that you can manipulate it. So if you make a mistake, you can always wipe it off, and you can blend it how you need to. So I take the concealer brush and I create the nose contour, and I go straight up. Some people go into the brows to contour. I go straight up to meet my eyebrows because I want to build a taller nose and thin it out as well. So I want to go down all the way to the bottom, top to bottom. Then you take a little bit and you can carve out around the nostril area. As you can see, I'm really not using a lot of product. So when I blend this, everything's going to look nice and seamless and not too much. So that's where you put the nose contour. They say with the nose contour, don't go too thin because then it looks a little bit more like a bad nose job. So be careful with that. Okay, so then I'm going to go around the perimeter of my face. I'm going to use a CoverFX Cream Foundation brush. This brush is very famous. Like I remember it from years ago. Like it's like an airbrush brush. So it's like natural bristles, but it's rounded, and it just really buffs in foundation amazing. So I'm going to take a little bit. And again, I don't swirl it deep. I just kind of tap it because then you can control the amount of product. And remember, building layers is always better. So now I am going to carve out the face. So when I put the contour, I don't put it too low because then it gets a little bit muddy looking. I kind of put it like at a diagonal from where the top of my ear is. And then you'll blend up. The only reason you would contour so low, which like the fishy face, people contour in that's more of a masculine contour, but we want to keep ours nice and light and avoid it getting muddy. So when I just move my face, I automatically see where it goes. Then I get the jawline, and sometimes I'll even bring it up a little bit into the chin to kind of make my chin a little more pointy. And then I'll get the temples. So I get the temples up to probably the arch of my brow. That's like my little guideline. I don't bring it in any further than that because you want to keep this area nice and lit, like a little halo. And then I'm going to get the forehead. So if you have a large forehead, this is going to make everything kind of slim down. And that should be good, right? So not a ton of product, it's just that the foundation is darker. But again, just tap the product in. So then what you could do is just blend everything in together. And when this is all done, my pictures always look so nice when I do like this glam routine. It photographs so well. Because the creams really offer nice coverage and everything is just nice and perfect looking. So if you're doing pictures, like taking some graduation pictures, you're going to a special event, a wedding, creams are so photography friendly. Just make sure to blend everything in together. So now if you feel like you lost a little bit of your highlight with everything, you can go ahead and add some more. I'm again going to take my kabuki and just kind of blend out the edges just to be on the safe side. Okay. And like I said, if you want to add a little bit more highlight, you can. Like I'm going to take a teeny bit of the concealer, literally a teeny bit, and just put a little bit down the bridge of my nose to add back definition, because sometimes when you blend that nose contour, you can lose a little bit. Then I'm going to set with powder. So I like to use two powders. I like to use a lighter brightening powder underneath my eyes, as well as, and then like kind of more of like a skin tone, very light powder to set the foundation, because sometimes if you use a tinted foundation powder and you put it under your eyes, you'll lose your highlight, and you don't want to do that. So what I'm going to do is take the CoverFX Illuminating Setting Powder in Light. I have been using this for years, ever since I first started using CoverFX, and this product is so nice. It's called an illuminating powder because it's not like shimmery or glittery, but it definitely glows. So I've been using this for years. Now to set underneath my eyes, I'm going to use my favorite under eye setting brush. This is the Luxe Essential brush from Sedona Lace. It's the cheek brush, and it's really soft. It has luxury hairs, so it feels super nice under there. and the shape really fits, and it's really good. So I'm going to get a little bit of the powder on the brush, just so that way, not too much, just enough so you can see it. Tap off the excess, and then just pat it on. So see how it kind of just keeps it light, but it just has a slight glow, but not too much. I love this powder, it's so good. So this is the CoverFX blotting powder medium, and it's a slight tint. So even though this looks lighter than my skin, it works really nicely. So the medium is going to set all of my other foundation, and I like it because it's a blotting powder, so it'll keep me shine free. And it's interesting because over the years I've gotten a little bit more oily, and I used to be super dry. I think it's like as soon as I started really exfoliating, the oils came coming. So I'm just taking the CoverFX powder foundation brush, which is super nice and big, which I like because then it won't, like the powder won't stick to one spot. Okay, and the last step, well not quite the last step, this is a multi-process because everything is pretty much a cream or liquid set with a powder. That way it will last and just work a lot better for you guys. Okay, so now I'm going to use a bronzer, and I'm going to use a bronzer to set the contour. This is the Sunset Bronzer, so it's pretty deep. I'm going to use that cream foundation brush, and I'm just going to kind of buff it in because this is going to re-emphasize the contour and set it. And when it comes to makeup, layers are your friend. You don't have to put a whole bunch at one time. Just layer it. And I like to add a blush before my shimmer highlight. So the blush I'm going to use is NARS Taj Mahal, one of my favorites. And I like to put the blush first so that way the highlight can go right on top. So I'm just going to take a tulip contour brush from my Sedona Lace Vortex collection. And we're just going to, I like to put it like at a diagonal up. I don't put it completely on the cheeks right here on the apple because I feel like that's more of a youthful look and I want to keep the contour going. So just kind of buff it in. And this color looks really good on tan skin. This gives me, like, I feel like the blush is totally necessary because it totally brings the color back into your skin. So the last step for real is the highlight. You might recognize this highlight. I've kind of made it semi-famous because I've used it so much over the summer and into the fall and winter I'll use it. And it's the Sunlight Illuminator. Oh my god, gorgeous. Like I always get compliments whenever I post a picture using this. So it's going to be my shimmer highlight, which I'm placing just right here. You can even put it on your brow bone. I sometimes avoid putting it on the center of my nose because it can look oily. I'll mix up, sometimes I will, sometimes I won't. I know Jaclyn Hill just got her a CoverFX Illuminator and she was raving about it. So it's definitely making its way around the YouTube circuit finally. So I'm going to take again my cheek brush because it's nice and smooth, and then I'm going to put that little highlight. And as you can see, my cheekbone is popping. So again, just tap because this product is super pigmented. Just tap it because you don't need to swirl it. It will just come onto the brush. For just the heck of it, I'm going to put a little bit on the tip of my nose. Do a little bit on my tops of my brow bone. And then the last step is setting spray. So I like to use a setting spray because it kind of takes away the powdery look, melts everything together, and it makes your makeup last longer. This is a City Color All Set Setting Spray with Silica. Okay, let me throw on a little lip product right quick. And that was the final look. This is my Glam foundation routine. It's very contoured, highlighted, defined, glowy, but as you can see it doesn't look cakey, and that's because the products are so pigmented that you don't need a lot. But we apply it in light layers to make sure that it shows and lasts. But that's a good thing about when you have nice pro products. You're not going to get cakey because the pigment's higher and you don't have to put as much product on. So even though I have a lot of products on, it doesn't feel heavy, and that is a good thing. So I hope you guys enjoyed my Glam foundation routine. I'll have all the products, pictures listed on makeupbyrendon.com. So I'm really excited because I'm going to do a giveaway. So CoverFX actually, I did this foundation routine in my Cheetah Red Lip get it ready with me video. I don't know if you guys remember that. I had a cheetah romper on, a top knot, red lips, and they liked my foundation routine so much they were like, can you do a video and then we'll give you a bunch of products to do a giveaway. So this is the CoverFX Illuminating Setting Powder in Light. Love this stuff so much. Been using it for years. Like, it's probably one of my, as far as like loose translucent powders, this is probably my favorite one. So I'm going to give 5 of these away, so it's open to US and Canadian residents. So in order to win, all you have to do is go to Instagram and make sure to follow me on there and like the post, the giveaway post, and leave a comment telling me why you want to win. This stuff is amazing on up to deep skin tone. It really is great. So just follow me on Instagram, leave a comment and like the post, and then I'll pick a winner at random. Open to US and Canadian residents. And that is it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, my Glam foundation routine. If you have any questions, let me know. Leave them in the comments below. And until next time, I hope you guys have a great night. Ciao, Bellas.